In 1929, people said the market would never fall again. In the year 2000, they said the internet had changed all the rules. In 2007, they said the financial system was modern, sophisticated, and too safe to fail. In all of those moments, there was one thing in common. Almost no one believed a crisis was possible. Every major financial crisis begins exactly like this, not with fear, but with excessive confidence. Warren Buffett does not try to predict the future. He does not make bets based on dates. He observes patterns, and when patterns repeat, he becomes cautious. What if I told you that the same warning signs that preceded every major financial crisis in history are appearing again, right now, in front of us? In this video, you will learn how to see the market through Warren Buffett's perspective. You will understand why, for him, risk rarely appears in obvious ways, and why the greatest danger often exists when everything seems calm. Stay until the end, because the final warning sign is the one most people ignore, and historically, it always comes before major collapses. Warren Buffett did not become rich by being bold. He became rich by being disciplined. He became rich by avoiding fatal mistakes. He lived through the Great Depression as a child. He invested during the crisis of the 1970s. He watched the market crash in 1987. He witnessed the dot-com bubble burst in the year 2000, and he took advantage of historic opportunities during the financial crisis of 2008. In every one of these periods, Buffett emerged stronger, not because he was faster, but because he was more patient. Buffett often says that the first rule of investing is never lose money, and the second rule is never forget the first rule. This philosophy does not mean avoiding all risk. It means avoiding unnecessary risk. It means avoiding risks you do not understand. It means avoiding situations where one bad decision can destroy everything. The first major warning sign of a coming crisis is the most expensive sentence in the history of investing. This time is different. That sentence appears before every major financial bubble. It appeared before 1929. It appeared before the year 2000. It appeared before 2008. In 1929, people said radio and electrification had created a new economic era. In the year 2000, they said the internet had changed all the rules. Today, they say artificial intelligence has permanently changed the rules of capitalism. Buffett has never been against innovation. He has never been against technology, but he has always been against the idea that innovation eliminates risk. Technology changes tools, but it does not change human nature. Greed is still greed, fear is still fear, and excessive optimism is still dangerous. When the market stops asking how much real money a business generates, something begins to deteriorate. When narratives become more important than results, the foundation becomes unstable. When promises replace cash flow, risk quietly accumulates. The second major warning sign is excessive confidence in the future. Before every major crisis, a collective sense of safety emerges. People begin to believe that problems are behind them, that risks are under control, that the market always finds a way to go up. Warren Buffett watches this very carefully because, in his view, danger rarely comes from pessimism. The real danger comes from excessive confidence. When almost no one talks about risk, it is because almost no one is protecting themselves. When everyone believes there is no danger, the system is already vulnerable.
The third major warning sign is easy money. For many years, money was cheap. Low interest rates encouraged excessive debt. Weak companies survived. Poorly planned projects continued to exist. Warren Buffett has always warned that artificially low interest rates distort everything. They distort prices, they distort decisions, they distort the perception of risk. When money is cheap for too long, the entire system adapts to that artificial condition. And when interest rates rise, reality returns abruptly. Now the cost of money has increased. Debt has become heavier. Business models that once worked no longer do. Mistakes that were hidden begin to surface. This is where many crises begin to form, not at the peak of euphoria, but at the moment when optimism meets real limits. The fourth major warning sign is treating companies that do not generate profits as solid investments. Buffett has always been very clear about this. A business must generate money, not just promise future growth, not just attract users, but generate real, consistent, and predictable cash. When companies that have never made a profit are valued at billions purely based on expectations, risk increases dramatically. When investors are willing to pay any price for growth, the margin of safety disappears. Buffett calls this speculation disguised as investing, and throughout history, this behavior has always ended the same way, with severe corrections. The fifth major warning sign is the behavior of the average investor. Before major crises, inexperienced investors begin taking increasingly large risks. They believe they have figured out the market. They confuse fast gains with real skill. They ignore basic risk principles. Leverage increases, patience decreases, discipline disappears. When those who understand the least take the most risk, the entire system becomes fragile, and small changes in conditions start to have large consequences. In face of all these warning signs, Warren Buffett does not panic. He does not try to predict dates. He does not react to market noise. He simplifies. He reduces unnecessary risk. He strengthens his liquidity position. He keeps capital available, and he waits patiently. Buffett has said that you do not need to swing at every pitch. You only need to swing at the ones that are clearly in your zone. Crises are not the end of the world. In Warren Buffett's view, crises are rare opportunities. They are moments when excellent businesses become cheap, not because they lost quality, but because people are forced to sell. Buffett does not try to guess when the next crisis will happen. He prepares constantly for the possibility that it will happen. That difference changes everything. The question was never whether another financial crisis would come. The question has always been who will be prepared when it does. Thinking like Warren Buffett means valuing liquidity. It means investing only in what you deeply understand, avoiding trends and euphoria, demanding a margin of safety, and maintaining emotional discipline when others lose control. Buffett does not try to be the smartest person in the room. He tries to be the last one still standing. If the next financial crisis has already begun, most people haven't noticed yet, because crises rarely announce their arrival. But some investors are already preparing, and Warren Buffett has always been among them. If you want to learn how to think the way great investors think, subscribe to the channel. In the next video, I will show you where smart money usually protects itself when crises arrive. Because when the tide goes out, it will not be luck that separates winners from losers.